I guess. For those of you that are joining us or going to join us, we cover pageants, anything that is positive in pageantry. We cover interviews, public speaking, makeup tips, perhaps. We've had a couple of guests that come on and do makeup. We will talk about fitness. We'll talk about healthy self-esteem. We've covered bullying issues. We try to make sure that everybody feels that they're in a safe, secure environment to be able to talk about the things that are on their mind. And just so you guys know, hey, Jenna Teeger. We've had some new people joining us over the last 24 hours because over the weekend we were reporting live from the Miss Perfect Glamour International pageant. And so anybody that watches our show from yesterday, you can go back and watch the playbacks to see that there are people that won titles yesterday that got crowned, and then we got to interview them as well. So if anybody new is coming on and they want to just ask anything about pageantry, or if you want to go back and look at any of our videos, you can. Basically, we just, are here to be a resource and be able to hopefully inspire people to go out and do different things in their life. Just so you know a little bit about me and why I know a little bit about pageantry. I've been doing it for competing, directing, coaching, judging, emceeing, reporting on pageantry for about 33 years now. I started when I was 16 and I am almost 50. So I've been doing it a couple of days. I have had several national titles. My most recent national title is Mrs. Accomplished America in 2014. And I am currently the reigning Mrs. Accomplished American Lifetime Queen. I am also the reigning Mrs. Coconut Grove Woman of Achievement, and I will be competing for the title of Mrs. Florida Woman of Achievement this Saturday, February 6th in Orlando. So part of what I do here is also not to just get other people ready for pageants, and we practice doing interviewing skills and ask questions, but it also allows me to practice getting ready for pageants so that I can be better able to deal with questions that happen. Unfortunately, I can't answer any questions unless there aren't any. So, Jenna, if you are on and you'd like to ask me something, I would greatly appreciate it. I know it takes sometime for my viewers to pop in. Another new exciting thing that's happened in the last couple of days is we now have a new logo that's new and improved. So you may see that we have our new specialty crown that is now ours and copyrighted. So if anybody, wants to comment about that, great. I'm not sure. I don't see anybody on. I guess Monday night is going to be a slow night tonight. So we'll see what happens. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes, but I know I'm getting tons of Facebook messages right now from a lot of people that were at the pageant this weekend. A couple of the title holders that I interviewed were Junior Miss Art Deco USA. She's the junior teen that represents the Art Deco USA system. I also interviewed Crowning Steps, which is a pageant for younger girls that's run by Barbara Ewald, who is previously a director for a local USA pageant in Florida, as well as the brand new, just crowned, Perfect Glamour International Queens that won their titles yesterday that I was on the judging panel for. So if anybody's got questions about that or about my title or about what's going on in life, feel free to ask them. I will try to answer all my Facebook requests that are going on right now. And sorry about that. All right, so anyways. There is a new person on. I don't know who you are, but thanks for joining us. I'm hoping that you will ask me some questions and say hi. We're just here to talk about pageants and have a place that we can feel comfortable and safe to be able to do that. I know Missy is on. I don't know if she's broadcasting, so maybe she'll jump in. She usually gives me makeup advice. I'm kind of curious to see if she has any tips about my makeup from the weekend. And then I know Rube was on a little while ago, so whenever Rube is on, it always takes up a good amount of the viewership for YouNow because he's the king of YouNow, along with Dr. Greg. So, how did I find out about YouNow? Actually, I was on the red carpet at Miss Universe, and I was interviewing all the people on the red carpet at Miss Universe, and Ruba came up to me and with Perez Hilton, and he said, "Hey, you got to hear about this thing. It's this new way to be able to contact people and talk to people and say hi." So I went live on their Miss Universe account and then also on Ruba's channel as well. And then I got to interview him too. So if you guys go back and look at any of the log videos from Ruba from December, you'll be able to see me there. Hey Danny, how are you? How was school today? How's the weather? Hold on. Sorry, love. Normally I'm more interactive. What's going on? How's it going today? I've got 2 people on, but I don't know who the other person is. 2 viewers. Somebody's there hanging out, so we'll see if they want to say hi to. Last night when we did last night's show, if anybody was chatting with me while we were live streaming, I wasn't able to chat back because I was on my phone. So, oh, thanks, sweetheart. No, I appreciate it. I actually, I think we're probably going to wrap up the show tonight. I'm exhausted. This weekend took a lot out of me, and I've got to try to save energy for this weekend, even though I need to practice my platform statement. Maybe I should do it just for practice. But homework is more important. Grades are much more important. So please make sure you take care of your stuff. And then, if you can't be on the show until everything's done later in the week, I leave early Friday morning at 7 a.m. I'm not sure if we're going to report or go live Friday night at our normal time. We're having a pajama party, so it's really going to depend on whether the girls want to be on or not. And then, of course, Saturday night, we will be doing the crownings live like we did last night. So if anybody wants to. Sweet. Awesome. See you later, sweetheart. Be well. Danny says that he will be on tomorrow, so he's got a lot of homework. And that's one of the things, too, is I always tell everybody that comes on, make sure that you take care of your schoolwork, make sure you take care of your education. All super. Mwah. Good night, sweetheart. Love you, too. I call him my YouNow son because he comes on every night and gives me fantastic questions to answer. Because you would think that I could be stumped by a teenager, but you'd be surprised. He has some very, very great questions for someone like me who's been doing pageants a long time. It makes me think a lot, which I appreciate. So, and I know there's still one person on, but no one said anything, so I guess we will talk just a little bit more. I'm going to try to do my platform statement and see if we can do it in a reasonable amount of time so that I can practice. So, let's see, stopwatch. And hi, I'm Stacey Shara Simpson, and my platform is Raising Awareness for Cancers and the Long-Term Effective Cancer Treatments. This is very near and dear to my heart, and I'll explain that to you in just a minute. On September 11th, 1996, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was given 8 weeks to live. The doctors suggested that I go through chemotherapy and radiation, and they also explained to me that there might be some side effects that I might feel from those. I expected, things like hair loss and vomiting and nausea, but the things I didn't expect was hearing that I might get a 33% chance of getting another cancer later on. However, I went ahead with the doctor's suggestions. I did 4 months of chemotherapy, and after 4 months of chemotherapy, we found that the tumors that I had totally gone away, which was great because one was the size of my hand attached to my heart, and the other one was wrapped around my neck and actually choking me from the left side of my shoulder around my neck. And I'm proud to say that we went through radiation for 3 months and to keep the cancer away, and I have been cancer-free ever since from lymphoma. In 2008, however, that first pesky secondary cancer had popped up. I had a mammogram. They found a small cluster of cells. They took them out, and I am, again, cancer-free. However, in 2010, a different side effect came about. I was not familiar with it, and neither were the doctors at the time, but one of the chemotherapies I had actually caused you to have congestive heart failure. So as I was coughing up blood and gone to the hospital to be checked out for it, the doctors told me that only 30% of my heart was working and that I needed to go on medication. So, hey Heather! I was practicing my platform, but I guess that just totally lost that. So, let's try that again! Yay! If anybody else is on, you see, the Accomplished American Program is the National Director, Heather Clark, who is my National Director. Hey, Matt! Wait, you changed your name. Why is it Red Bull RT? How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. I'm glad you're on. Anyways, so I was practicing my platform statement. So let's try this again. We'll reset it. Heather, I'm going to try not to stumble. We're going to see how well we can do this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stacey Shara Simpson, and my platform is raising awareness for cancers and the long-term effects of cancers. And this is very near and dear to my heart, and let me explain to you why. On September 11th, 1996, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was given 8 weeks to live. The doctor suggested that I undergo chemotherapy treatments as well as radiation treatments to make my life longer. So I said that we probably should do that. I would like that. And they told me there might be some side effects, which I knew: hair loss, vomiting, nausea. But they also told me that there would be some long-term effects, possibility of up to 33% chance of me getting a secondary cancer, like lung cancer, skin cancer, breast cancer. I'm glad I went along with the treatments and did the chemotherapy, because after 4 months, the two tumors that I had, one was the size of my hand attached to my heart, and the other one was from the tip of my shoulder on the left side wrapped around my neck, had actually gone away after the chemotherapy. So then I underwent 3 months of radiation treatment to be able to make sure that the lymphoma did not come back. I'm here today because they were successful, and I have been lymphoma-free since 1997. However, in 2008, I was diagnosed with my first secondary cancer. A small clump of cells in my right breast were found in a mammogram. Luckily, they were able to just take it out with a needle biopsy and put in a little radioactive iodine, and those cells have not come back, and I have been cancer-free from breast cancer. However, in 2010, a different side effect that we didn't know about when I was originally diagnosed came about. The chemotherapy that I originally had was actually causes something called congestive heart failure. I was coughing up blood, rushed to the hospital to find out that only 30% of my heart was operational because it had been damaged by my chemotherapy. I underwent medical treatments with medications, and my heart started to improve, and the blood and coughing stopped. However, 2 months after that, I was diagnosed with my second secondary cancer, basal cell carcinoma in the middle of my back, stage 3. Luckily, the doctors were able to take it out. I was treated with topical chemotherapy, and I am again cancer-free. However, 2011, I got into a horrible accident. My heart went into complete failure. Only 10% of my heart was working. The doctors suggested immediately that I get put on a transplant list, and I was told to have a pacemaker defibrillator put into my heart to keep it working. I did get the defibrillator. We decided not to go into the transplant list because a young doctor suggested that I try stem cell therapy treatment at the University of Miami. In 2014, December of 2014, I received my own stem cells to help regrow the cardiac tissue that had been damaged by the chemotherapy. While the doctors were in there, they found a 90% blockage in my main artery leading to my heart. The doctors immediately suggested that I have a double bypass surgery to correct the issue, because otherwise I might drop dead at any moment. I did wait a few months to be able to do it, but in May of 2015, I had double bypass surgery, as well as a mitral valve repair and then a repositioning of my pacemaker defibrillator. The surgery took 12 hours, 4.5 which were cutting through the scar tissue that had been caused by the radiation that I had received almost 18 years before. I'm proud to say that I'm here alive today and well before you with 40% of my heart working and able to go out and take on the task of being the next Florida Woman of Achievement. But I'm here to inspire you to make a difference. Get involved in charities like I do, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, the American Cancer Society, or the 4-A-Day Foundation, where we host parties for kids going through cancer treatments. Help a friend that's going for treatments, but help support me in finding a cure so you can live out my legacy, to live long enough to see a cure for cancer. Thank you. Whew. Heather. Hi guys, I am Menel. Sorry, that's my statement. I don't know, heaven's on. I see a lot of people coming out. Oh, thank you. I got a high five. So, I changed it a little bit, but that gets me as tight as I think I can. What do you think, Heather? It flows better this way. We were right at 350. So I've got to just make sure that I get it down. But it sounds a little bit more fluid, a little bit more... Oh, okay, go back. Oh my goodness, sweetheart. I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I'm sorry that she's been fighting it. But I mean, you know, that's what it's all about. I mean, honestly, it is all about attitude, making sure that you go into it with a positive attitude, fighting back, make sure she gets checked. That's the one thing that I can say to most people is that I am so proud to be a survivor. What I didn't expect was to have such a long-lasting, long-term effect of what's happening. And I always worry about kids that, you know, are diagnosed and going through treatments like I went through, because that means conceivably somebody that was 3 years old when I was diagnosed 20 years ago is now facing the same issues like I have, which is coronary artery disease caused by the scar tissue, as well as congestive heart failure as a side effect from the chemotherapy. So it's super, super important that she follows up, that she does the things that she needs to do. I honestly believe that my doctors, you know, gave me the best advice, and we did both regular treatments. So we did chemo and radiation, but we also did some holistic treatments. We did a lot of positive reinforcement. We did a lot of imaging. Every time I had chemo, I thought of a Pac-Man going through my body and eating up the cancers. You know, I tried to use a lot of non-medical items to help get me through there. Hey, Emma, how are you? So, you know, all I can say is congratulations that she's fighting. I'm going to be up in your guys' neck of the woods this weekend. So if you guys want to come by the pageant and watch, you're welcome to. It's in Orlando, Saturday night at the Radisson in Celebration. Yeah, I had my port, and then, so this scar right here is where my port was. And then this is now the scar from the pacemaker. So, and then the scar from my double bypass. So, tell her to keep up the good fight. Tell her to keep going. Dude, I would love you guys to come by. Honestly, I mean, it would be fantastic to see the people that I hang out with, or that I hang out with here, but just to be able to show my support to her as well. You know, that's really why I do this. I got it back into pageants 5 years, 6 years after Heather wants to know what your news is, Matt. So there's more news? Oh, okay. Race. Oh, Red Bull race team. Okay. And you have news. Okay. Tell us the news. Oh, I'm sorry, love. Gosh, I really thought you guys were so cute. But you know what? Honestly, if she was in another relationship, then truly, having been there myself, I can honestly say it's probably in your best interest to, you know, move forward. Oh God, that sounds horrible saying that, but you know, at the end of the day, being single kind of stinks, but I would rather you be single than get in a situation where you get hurt, even worse, which would really suck. Hey Mitchell, how are you? Emma, you want me to guess? Hold on 1 second, sweetie. I'm so glad to see you guys on. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I don't know if anybody watched last night. We had the pageant live streaming, so I couldn't answer anybody that was talking to me because we were talking. I'm doing great, sweetie. How are you? Hey, Emma, what's going on? Nothing? You're not going to say anything? You just wanted to be on camera, huh? What are you eating? Nothing. Did you want to ask me any questions, sweetheart? Did you make that in school today, or is it jewelry?
Made it.
Cool. Very cool. Look at those nails, girl. See, I got my nails done, and I'm going to have to get them done again because I was judging this weekend, and they chipped. I can't go into pageant on Friday with my nails looking yucky, so. All right, Emma, see you later. Bye. Does anybody else want to be guested? Does anybody else have any questions for me? I did my platform statement, so we've practiced it, so now I feel a little bit better. Heather, does it seem like it's getting more comfortable rather than being very Heather, you still on? I know, you probably walked away. What do you think, Matt? Do you think that... It's hard for me to add my Stacy-ness when I'm like trying to think of everything and get essentially the last 20 years of what happened into it. So I did it the other day and it was very... No, I did know you were on, but I couldn't answer anybody, Mitchell. I did say hi, but you couldn't hear me because while I was live streaming, I didn't want to be rude and be talking over what was going on in the pageant. And then when I was doing the interviews, I couldn't see, I could only see the video of what was going on. So, it was just trying to get the logistics of it. So... But I did see that you said hi, and I kind of went hi, but I don't think you heard me. So, we were trying to figure out the logistics because this weekend when I compete, we're going to be doing the exact same thing where the station will go live to show the winners. We're not showing the whole pageant, just the actual crowning, but I will be on stage, so I will have no control over it. The AV guy will be handling it and just shooting it. So if anybody's commenting, I won't even be able to see the comments, unfortunately. So it'll have to be like the next day when we catch up and you guys can tell me, hopefully I'll have a new crown and we can talk all about that and the experience. So we'll see what happens. So I have to add my Stacy-ness, huh, Heather? Oh my goodness. Long time ago in a vast galaxy far, far away. All right, see you later, sweetheart. Be well. It will be probably, pageant starts at 6, so we're hoping that we have opening number, platform statement, or talent, depending on which everybody's doing. Then it will be activewear and the evening gown. So hopefully, if all of us can change quick enough, we're hoping between 8 and 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So like between 5 and 5:30 your time. I won't, and again, I'm not going to have any control over it. So the AV guy might be able to post beforehand. So I just say check off and on and see what happens. You'll know because I'll text you as soon as I get the. Hey Brittany, how are you? Thanks for joining us. This is Pageantry Now, and I'm Stacy. I'm the host. We talk about pageants here, positive pageantry, interview skills, public speaking, makeup, whatever you would like. It is a safe place to ask questions, and we encourage it. So, and then Heather will, hey, B.H. Botham, thanks for becoming a fan. I appreciate it. I much love to. I need fans. That's my goal. My goal is to get to 400 fans. So if you have friends that you want to invite that you think would be interested in hanging out with me, normally I do. Tonight I am totally non-pageant. I spent the entire weekend in pageant mode. If you guys want to see some of the pictures from this weekend, you're welcome to go to nowmedia.com. The pictures are up, and then of course we also have a Facebook page. So if you want to go to our Facebook and like our Facebook page so you can get updates on what's going on. Before we go live, it'll automatically pop up and let you know that we're going live. So if you are interested, and then of course we have twitter.com/pageantry now and Instagram.com/pageantry now. So you can take a look at photos that we've got, things that are going on. Usually, before we go live, I will go ahead and send it out on social media. The account is set up to automatically do that, so before we go live, it'll post. So we'll have the AV guy Saturday night, make a quick post either on Facebook, on all of the accounts so that you guys can see it. And then hopefully you'll see me get crowned. We'll see how it goes. All right, so I need questions so that I can practice interview, so that I can take this crown and go with it. So does anybody have any questions for me to answer? Pageant related or not? It can be, I guess it can be political, although I haven't found out what's going on with the Iowa caucus yet. So, Michael, are they still playing hokey pokey?
Yes, they're going to be doing it until, the wee hours of the morning.
Okay, good.
They're going to be doing it for a little while.
So a few more hours that they'll be busy Iowa caucusing. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, so should I do? I don't think so. I think they're supposed to only be able to ask us about our platform and about anything that comes up in interview, essentially. But because they all get the application that we filled out with all the information on it, and quite honestly, if somebody doesn't come up with enough interesting questions from there just to be able to ask me something, then clearly I did something wrong in the application process. So, but I mean, there could be political questions, which will be interesting. Actually, Danny is really good at asking political questions so that I'm on top of things like that, so I can answer them pretty easily. Hey, Tumbling Page, thanks for joining us. If you're new to the show, please fan us. We're all about pageants, but we're all about positive pageantry. We represent the non-typical pageant, the everyday woman in America, or a man. We actually represent men's pageants too. Tell me about my Pay It Forward. My Pay It Forward is that every single day I try to do something to inspire somebody, so that the way I look at it is if I inspire them to move forward, to keep working, to keep doing something to motivate themselves, perhaps to help them fight in a battle, that will move my inspiration forward, in the hopes that they will share it with somebody else and then they'll continue sharing it. So that's what I call my Pay It Forward. My job is to just hopefully make people feel good about themselves and hopefully help them move forward in a positive way so that they can make changes in their lives too. Thanks, Heather. That didn't totally put me on the spot. Oh, you pulled up my application, didn't you? What do I hope to gain from this pageant? Well, it's super important for me with this pageant that I am able to represent my platform, raising awareness for cancers and the long-term effects of cancers. But more than that, representing the overall woman. This is a pageant about the inner beauty, not the outer beauty, and representing real women across the United States and all of their accomplishments and their achievements. So my hope is to be able to not just win the Florida title, but to go forward and win the national title, and to continue traveling, making appearances, speaking to different people on my social media, on my TV show, Pageantry Now, on Facebook, everything on social media, and just try to make a difference in the world. Hey, Skylar, how are you? Thanks for joining us. This is Pageantry Now. My director is asking me questions for my interview process. Saturday night, I am competing for the title of Mrs. Florida Woman of Achievement. Tell me about my company. I have 3 different companies. My first is Jamagination, which was founded in 2003. It is a movement education program that has gymnastics as well as music as its basis. The gymnastics portion, we work with children their ages 2 years through 12 years, specifically focusing on what is positive about gymnastics and not perfection. And then Kinder Music by Jamagination is the sub portion of Jamagination, which is music for children under the ages of 5. So we do a lot of parent-child classes as well as early music education programs. And my newest venture is Pageantry Now Media, where we go live every single night at 8:30 at www.younow.com/pageantrynow and talk about what's positive in pageantry. The sisterhood, the things that we do, making a difference in the world, being positive about all of the things that make us uniquely us. Hi, Miami to London. Thank you for joining us. I don't know who you are, but we appreciate it. If you haven't fanned us, please do. My goal is to get to 400 fans. Oh, Mitchell's back. That's like the big deal for me right now. So we're trying to get to there. I usually try to strive to get to number 1 on beauty, but it's not always easy. Where did Jamagination come from? That is a great question. Actually, I was in the middle of my classes, teaching one of my 3-year-old classes, and one of my students walked up to me and he said, "Miss Stacy, are we going to use our Jamagination today?" And I was starstruck because I thought, that is exactly what I do every single day. It is it's gymnastics in combination with imagination, and Jamagination was born. 7th. This weekend, actually, Friday night I was number 1. Saturday night we were number 1. And Saturday night was extremely busy. We had like 250 people on. So they were all asking questions, and it was very interactive, which was very, very cool. Last night, I don't know how we did because I wasn't able to actually, again, be interactive. It was a little bit different with our live streaming when we were at an event live. So hopefully we got up, but oh, we got to 3rd. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. I know we have new viewers that are coming in. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about pageants. More specifically right now, I am getting ready to compete this weekend, so I'm working on my interview portion. So if you have a question for me, that I could answer, you have a lot of organizations that you volunteer with, which started it. The first organization that I started volunteering for was the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. The way that it started was I had been a 5-year survivor right after September 11th, 2001 was my 5-year anniversary of being diagnosed with cancer. And I realized that I needed to do something with my life. And I started doing some soul searching, and I came across a brochure for Team in Training. Team in Training is the endurance training program and the #1 fundraiser for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So I thought it would be a great idea for me to ride a century bike ride. That's 100 miles on a bike. And when I asked my doctor, he said, "Nope, can't do that. Sorry." So I asked, Team in Training, how can I be involved? I really believe in this. And so the team member said, "Well, you can become an honored hero, which means that you're the patient that we ride in honor of. And then we would love for you to come to recruitment meetings to inspire people and tell them your story." So the very first time I ever uttered the words that I was diagnosed with terminal cancer was at a Team in Training meeting. I hadn't told any of my family. I hadn't ever told any of my friends. No one knew that I was given 8 weeks to live. So the first time I uttered the statement, "Hi, my name is Stacey Shero Simpson, and on September 11th, 1996, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was given 8 weeks to live." And that's where it started. So that was the first organization. I volunteered with other organizations. Before that, I had done stuff with the Renaissance Historical Society. Tell me about my education. My education actually started with me high school. When I went to college, I was studying pre-law, specifically international relations. I was going for my major so that I could go into law school. I was 12 credits shy of my degree in international relations and got accepted to Harvard Law School and decided that that was not what I wanted to do with my life. And I dropped out of college, changed my major, changed my university, did not go to Harvard, went back and got my degree in education and development. And then about 10 years later, I started working with a child that had autism. So I became his in-home therapist unofficially, and then went back to school to get my master's degree to become an ABA therapist, so that we focus on helping children with autism overcome their behavior issues and use behavior modification as a way to be able to do that. So that's my educational background. I love that Heather is looking at my application and asking me questions. Does anybody else have questions for me so that we can practice?
Why do you think Americans are so challenged when it comes to geography?
My husband asks me, why do I think Americans are so challenged when it comes to geography? The answer to that would be that I don't think we have enough education on geography. Most of our education system right now is based on training to a test. And it would be very hard for them to put on a test a map so that people could identify the different areas that they're speaking about. And truthfully, honestly, most Americans are not very globally minded. So it's very hard for us to get out of the idea that there are 50 states, when in truth, many people don't even know that there are 50 states. So that is my answer to that. So, hey, Mackenzie, how are you? Thanks for joining us. This is Pageantry Now. How are you doing tonight? And I saw that Pam came on from Pageant Live. Thanks for joining us, Pam. It's good to see you. I know you've been having some great shows going on, and you've been really busy with like your bi-coastal stuff, and that's fantastic. I think that's so wonderful that you're able to get different viewers that come on, and they're able to talk about what's going on in their different countries. So congratulations on that. I think that's fantastic. So keep up the good work. All right. Anybody else got any questions for me? Oh, come on, guys. You got to ask me something. By the way, this is the non-pageant Stacy. I don't usually look like this. I was busy judging all weekend long. So, and getting ready for pageant this week, I'm just going to take it easy. My favorite food is Cuban food. It is absolutely, by far and large. I moved to Miami from Michigan in 1979. And the first time that I ever had Cuban food, I fell in love with it. So whenever I'm having a bad day, that is my go-to. Ironically, after pageant, Saturday night, I actually came home with like huge vats of food, and we separated into little containers for the week. So, yeah, Cuban food. Rice, lots of rice, beef, tomato sauce. Do I have any non-pageant hobbies? My most non-pageant hobby is actually gaming. And what I mean by gaming, I mean video gaming. I've been a video gamer since the very beginning of time when Pong first existed. It takes up a good amount of my time with respect to, right now I play a lot of things on the iPad, and I have all the silly games that you have on Facebook. But I used to actually play an MMORP called World of Warcraft. Some of you may have heard of it. There are millions of people all over the world that play it, and I played it for several years, and I was a beta tester for them. Now it's a little less stressful because, I've got things like this to be able to interact with and keep me busy. So pageantry now keeps me from spending too much time gaming. I also like to draw. I like to hang out with my friends. I love music. Music is a huge, huge thing for me. So without music, I don't think that I would ever exist. It is what makes me tick. So, and my dogs and my husband. So. My favorite book. That is a great one. There's so many books that I really, really like. I probably am going to have to say it's going to be a children's book. I really love Where the Wild Things Are. I love The Giving Tree. I like things that, anything from A. Milne, Winnie the Pooh's. Those were the things that kept me involved and kept me wanting to keep reading when I wasn't necessarily inspired by that. And then most recently, I haven't really read anything in a really long time that made me go, oh yeah. Let me see. Twilight. No. I know. I started reading 50 Shades of Grey. I got through like the first page and went, okay, maybe not that one either. I used to really like Anne Rice. All of the Anne Rice books were like my favorites. I loved the vampire books. So if you've never read Anne Rice, there's something about her writing that is really significantly fantastic that every time one came out, hey, Oksana, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Sosana. I don't know. If you're from Brazil, it's Sosana. Oksana. Or XOXO Anna. Or XOXO. I know I talk about Florida hurricanes. Heather's question is, tell me about Florida hurricanes. Well, having lived through the most famous hurricane in probably United States history, aside from Hurricane Katrina, otherwise known as Hurricane Andrew, we had no electricity for 6 to 8 weeks, depending on where you were. We were under military law, so every time you went somewhere, you had to show proof of ID, and there were military guards telling you whether you could or could not go into certain areas. There was no food, there was no water, there was no anything. It's pretty interesting to be put in a situation, especially in the United States and the free world, where you don't have the basic living essentials that you believe are supposed to be coming to you. In that particular case, FEMA did not get here in time. So for many of us that were trying to just survive, it was very, very difficult because there were people killing people to be able to get to water, to get to food, to get to supplies. And it wasn't publicized on the news. There was so much that went on that no one really knew about because the news really didn't cover it. And you're looking at a very, very compact storm that did damage with wind gusts of up to 250 miles an hour, where entire neighborhoods were demolished. Luckily, in the house that I was in, we just lost, parts of the roof that were not significant to the roof. The outside parts of the swimming pool were pulled off. Trees just missed us. But when we came out in the front yard after the hurricane, there was a major church down the street that had been demolished by a tornado that had hit it, because on top of the hurricane, you actually have tornadoes that go around as well. And the church had been demolished, and there was pink fiberglass all over the grass, so it looked like pink snow. And about a block away, there was a 7-Eleven, and the 7-Eleven sign was embedded in our front yard. So that is what I can tell you about hurricanes. They're not much fun. I don't encourage it, but I can't imagine that being anywhere else is any better, because in California you have... Every place has something. In the Midwest. What would I do if I win the title of Mrs. Florida Elite? 7-Eleven. A 7-Eleven is like a quick stop. It's like a fast food place where you go in and get, they used to be open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Now they're 24 hours. But basically, you go inside of them and you get food or, whatever, drinks, things, fast food kind of thing. It's like a little grocery store, but it's like quick items, not something that's fast. And sometimes they have gasoline as well. So that's what a 7-Eleven is. What would I do if I win the title of Mrs. Elite Florida? First and foremost, I'm going to continue to represent my platform, raising awareness for cancer and the long-term effects of cancer treatments. I already have several appearances planned, even though I am not the title holder, but the week after the pageant, I'm going and working with Operation Feed America in Orlando. The weekend after that, I'll be at the Disney Princess 5K, so I'll be representing the title there. Hey, Rich, how are you? Mwah! I love you! I'm so glad you guys came on tonight. Thank you so much for letting me judge last night. It was so wonderful being part of the pageant and being able to put you guys on the show and to be able to highlight your winners as well. I talked to Mealy earlier today via Facebook, and I told her, let's definitely get together after I win my title Saturday night, so that we can see about maybe corresponding some appearances, so we can get your girls active in the community, and hopefully working with my charity, which I direct here in Miami, called the 4-A-Day Foundation, where we host parties for kids that are going through cancer treatments. So, as well as the American Cancer Society with Relay for Life. And I guess, Heather, that kind of ties into your question as well. I'm just going to continue volunteering and making a difference in the world, and hopefully trying to inspire people to keep fighting to move forward, and then to represent Florida at the Women of Achievement pageant in November and take that crown too. We're going national with this, and I am going to make sure that I can go to whatever event I can. But I'm already booked every weekend now until March 13th, just with the title of Mrs. Coconut Grove. So once we get the title of Mrs. Florida next weekend, then, you know, those appearances don't change. It just changes the crown that goes with it. So. Hi, Alice. I don't know if you're new to us. If you haven't liked this yet, please do. Fan us, share us with your friends. The idea is that we have a positive place for people to be able to come and talk about pageants and the things that go on in the pageantry community. Hopefully doing community service, going out and making a difference in the world, inspiring people to be better, empowering women, empowering girls, letting them know that they've got fantastic role models that are out there that they can grow up and be just like. I had such a great time last night. Rich is the international director of the Perfect Glamour International Pageant, which I judged this weekend for him, and an amazing panel of 6 judges that are so fantastically talented that I was so impressed that a first-time pageant had such amazing judges. You know, we got to interview the girls. We got to talk to them about, you know, what they want to do with their titles, and hopefully, I'm getting messages from one of the judges that judged with me yesterday. So Kirsten Regalado. So if you guys look her up, Kirsten's a designer. She's a fantastic designer. She actually designed the gown for Miss Australia Tegan last year at Miss Universe. So look her up. You can go look her up on my Facebook too. But I was really impressed with the caliber of the women that we met, and I look forward to hopefully growing with you guys and helping to promote the pageant and move forward and help your young women, inspire them to do more and be more active. I know that we already have quite a lot in common already, having gone through the interview process, and then last night being able to talk to them a little bit more personally on camera. So thanks for letting me do that. I really appreciate it. And then I have All Mandayon. Thanks for joining us. And is that Van? No, Van Von Pandora. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, please fan us. Or let thumbs up help too. The more that we get interactive with this, the more that it helps my ranking on YouNow. We want to get to 400 fans. That is the goal. Once we become, thank you, I love you, thank you for fanning me. The more fans that we get, the more that it makes our channel visible. So the more recognition that we get for people to go out or to be interactive with the show and to try to make a difference. Hey, how are you, Jacqueline? Thanks for joining me. How are you tonight? It's good to have you. And hopefully, you know, build up pageantry now so that, you know, we can go to lots of different pageants all over and interview many, many different title holders and representation of title holders all over the world. So that is my goal. And so you guys know a little bit about me too. I've been in pageants for about 33 years now as a judge, contestant, coach, MC, reporter, director. Yeah, all of those things, right, Heather? Anything else? As well as being live on the red carpet at Miss Universe this year and last year, where I got to interview. Oh, no, honestly, it was hey, Megan, how are you? Thanks for joining us. It was my pleasure, Rich. You have no idea. I'm really glad that we were able to do that. I was a little nervous just about the technical issues, and some of the video wasn't as clear as I usually get. But considering that was off of my phone, I think it turned out really good. So I'm hoping that we can do many, many more events together and just be able to help you grow the pageant. So thank you. So anybody else got any questions for me? Anybody that has Elarac, thanks for joining us. Questions about pageants, questions about makeup, questions. I know I'm not wearing any makeup today. For the next couple of days, I am makeup free because I am competing for the title of Mrs. Florida Woman of Achievement on Saturday. And quite honestly, I need a couple of days just to look like Stacy and not pageant Stacy. Doesn't mean that my titles are less important to me. I am the reigning Mrs. Coconut Grove Woman of Achievement. Ta-da! And I have a crown that goes with that. Ta-da! I don't feel like wearing it right now. And then, of course, not to be Hillary or Trump Nation. Well, considering the Iowa caucus has not completed yet, I can't really make a decision as to whether it will be Hillary or Trump Nation as to whom I will be voting for. At this particular juncture, I will tell you that I do support Hillary or Bernie Sanders. I think that our nation needs some dramatic changes, and I think that I don't find that I can adequately accept that Mr. Trump is going to recognize all of the people in the nation and give them a fair ride. So that is my opinion. It is just my opinion and not necessarily that of the station or its owners. Oh, wait, that's me too. Okay, so there you go. Besides, we still have so many more months before we actually have two candidates to choose from. So we can't make the assumption that it's going to be Hillary or Trump. Something could happen tonight at the caucus that we are unfamiliar with right now as they do their hokey pokey from chair to chair. So we'll never know. Hi, how are you, Ivory? How are you? Thank you. My name is Stacey Sherrow Simpson. This is Pageantry Now. I am the reigning Mrs. Coconut Grove Woman of Achievement. In addition to, I think I'm very good, thank you. In addition to that, I am also the former Mrs. Accomplished American 2014. I gave up my title in August of 2015, and my fantastic, wonderful director, who must love me dearly, decided that she didn't want me to leave, so I became the Mrs. Accomplished American Lifetime Queen. So these are my crown and sash for Accomplished American, which this is really awesome bling. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Oh my gosh, I love you. Oh, I'm getting thumbs up. That's awesome. Please, thank you. And share me with your friends. If you guys haven't shared, please have people come and join us. How do I deal with this stress? Stress of pageantry or just stress in general? I guess it doesn't really doesn't really matter either way. I exercise regularly. I eat well. It's extremely important to me that I stay as positive as possible. I am a 3-time cancer survivor. And in addition to having cancer, I also have congestive heart failure as a side effect from my cancer treatments 19 years ago, as well as coronary artery disease caused by the radiation treatments that I received 20 years ago. So it's super important for me to go out, make a difference, and just remember that today's the only day I have, and I've got to enjoy it and make the best out of it and let stress fall and not worry about it so much. So there you go. And just be me. Be me. If you're trying to be somebody else at the end of the day, it's just going to cause more anxiety in your life, and that's not really worth it. So be who you are and be proud of it. So I'm a size 14 woman who's almost 50, still doing pageants and enjoying every single second of it and having bucket list moments happen every single day of my life. So my day was good today. Today I'm training also for a 5K in 3 weeks. And today I did 2.5 miles in under 45 minutes, which to me is great considering I had double bypass surgery where they had to go in. You guys can see the scar. They had to go in and put my heart back together in May. So I think it was a good day. Did you have a good day today? How's the weather where you are? Ivory's asking about my day, so I'm asking back. So. Oh, look, we're creeping up to number 4. Come on. Number 1. We're at number 4 right now, so. Number 1. And Ivory helps. She gave me likes. When she gives me thumbs up, that adds to our ranking, so I really appreciate that. Hey, Rich, you got any questions for me? Hard-hitting stuff? How about you, Heather? You got any more questions for me? We got about 4 more minutes left, and then I'm going to wrap up the night and go spend some time with my husband. Unfortunately, because of YouNow, I neglect him now for a whole hour every day. So when he gets home from work, I want to spend some time with him. And we hung out a little bit, but I can't neglect him too much because I'm going to be gone all weekend long. I leave early Friday morning for pageant. Ha! I do. I miss him. He was working today. So, so this weekend, if you guys are interested in finding out how I do, oh, awesome! Ooh, biology. Did you dissect something, or was it something that you just were able to make little pieces and show them on a diagram? I love biology, but I don't like the dissection part of biology. I think that overall it's very, very cool. And unfortunately, I didn't pay enough attention in high school to my biology, and then I found out about it the hard way with having to deal with stuff with my body. So, okay, so the files from last night, if you go into our page where we're not live, you can go into broadcasts. So if you go back to the main page, it'll show the broadcast from last night. So it'll show you, there's a couple of them from when we crowned the winners. So you can see those, and you can copy and paste them and add them to Facebook so you guys can show them off on the website. And then the last one is going to be when I interviewed all the girls. So. Oh, that's cool. So I'll help one and sign. That's cool. This weekend, sorry, Vaughn. Van Vaughn. This weekend, I'm competing for the title of Mrs. Florida Woman of Achievement. So this Saturday night, February 6th, you will be able to tune into our station, Pageantry Now, and watch the live crowning. If you go back and watch last night's show, Rich is asking about his pageant because I was judging at his pageant last night, and we live streamed the crowning of his winners. But you'll be able to watch, hopefully, me be crowned your next Mrs. Florida Woman of Achievement Saturday night, somewhere between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So pageant starts at 6 o'clock, and I'm assuming that we will be done somewhere between 8 and 8:30. But we never know. Pageants are so unpredictable because it's hard to be able to get tabulation done and have everybody change quickly. And what you see on, oh, thank you. I won't be able to answer the AV guy that's going to be doing the music and the video for the show. Will be running my feed for me. So I won't be able to say anything until later on. I'll come back on live and I'll interview the winners. And then I'll be able to chat back and forth with people. And then Sunday night we'll do a recap show where anybody that wants to ask me any questions, they can about what happened at pageant and how it went. Hopefully I'll be wearing a new crown, so that'll be the answer. So you live in Champaign, Illinois. You want to do a teen pageant. Do you know which pageant you want to go into, Ivory? And I guess the question is, what do you know about pageantry? And have you ever done a pageant before? And by the way, if anybody wants to be a guest, if you guys let yourself go into the guest box, or if you type in here, I will let you go live. The only thing that I ask is that you keep it positive, number one, that you keep it about pageants. And then if you are not safe with having your video be shown, you can cover up the actual video feed of your face so that you can keep your anonymity. But that way you can actually ask me questions live instead of typing it in chat. So it's totally up to you. So if anybody wants to guess, let me know. Okay, all right, no problem. So Ivory, I'm going to guess you. We are number 4 in beauty. Come on, let's go, let's go. Does anybody else have any questions? We're waiting for Ivory to come in. And I see my Facebook is getting lots of business tonight too, so we'll hopefully see. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh, I can't hear anything. I'm not sure why. Let me see.
Good.
My sound is not coming in. Hold on one second. Please stand by. I'm experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, my headphones are up all the way. Okay. Oh no, you can hear her and I can't hear her. It was happening earlier too. I couldn't hear what was going on. Oh no. Julie, I do not do makeup videos. However, I do have makeup guests that come on. Actually, Missy comes on and she does makeup sometimes as a guest. And then we do have a couple of MAC makeup artists that will come on and actually show makeup as well. So if you are interested in doing perhaps a tutorial and you want to come on the show and do it, let me know. Or if you want to learn more about it, I can help you with that too. Ivory, for some reason, I'm not getting any sound, so let's go back to...
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe it's just the connection. Because you guys can hear me fine, right?
Yeah.
All right, try talking now. Let me see. Can I hear you?
Yeah.
No, still nothing. It's the connection. I can hear you. I can't hear you guys, but you guys can hear her, so... Hold on one second. Oh, well. Never mind. Oh, now we've got awful lighting. So, if you would do me a favor, sweetheart, Ivory, if you can just text inbox, I'll answer it live as much as I can, since the audio is not working. Is that okay with you? Okay, so texting me, and then or tomorrow night. Let me see if I can try to drop out really quick and reconnect you. Okay.
Okay.
So let me see if I reload the show, that if it will pick it up. So that means I'm going to lose everybody. So just come back on, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's try.